All right. That happened.
Well done. That was fantastic. So this is a bit of a reunion for us. 2 years ago, I was lucky enough to come to the set, hang out with you guys as you were, eagerly finishing up the first season. Tensions were high.
Between us and you, yes.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
Still are, man. I don't know.
Well, let's not talk about it here.
Well, we have to.
They can feel the
We
tension.
can feel it.
Gotta name it.
And frankly, I was nervous for you guys. There was a lot of money from HBO riding on the show.
I don't know if you're making it better.
No, but in general, I think everybody on set felt really excited about the show. You felt like you were making something that would be funny and resonate and be this satire. And what I'm most curious about now, 2 years later, did it feel rewarding the way that the show was sort of perceived? And did it sort of meet expectations for you guys?
Well, I think there's a God-sized hole in all of our souls that no amount of success will fill. So, you're just on a treadmill running from yourself. And,
But yeah, I mean, the show's done well.
yeah, the show's done well. Yeah.
Congrats on season 3. The facial hair alone suggests you should really grow that in real life.
Hey, mustache is coming back. Watch out. Cool.
It is exciting. I don't know, I wasn't sure how broad an appeal a show about tech would have, and so I was surprised that it had such a big audience and that people seem to like it so much.
Yeah, I think you're giving us too much credit for the confidence that we had while making season 1. I was like, I don't know if I think this is funny, but you never know, especially with television. Like, so many things you think will line up and then just no one watches them or they just don't turn out well. But, to have such an expertly crafted show and exquisitely executed to cover for my mistakes, and then have people actually watch it. I think it's a nice little mixture.
I also think we got very lucky just that the culture sort of was turning to awareness of tech in a way that was kind of perfectly timed with the launch of the show. Like the Facebook movie had just come out and people were like, oh yeah, those are companies with people working there and what's that all about? And the amount of money that's going in and out of Silicon Valley is so stunning that I think people suddenly were sort of interested in it.
Yeah, I remember in that first pilot episode, Gavin Belson offered Richard to buy Pied Piper for first it was like $100 million, and I think you and Altshuler and Krinsky were like, no, that's too much. No one's going to buy that. He would turn down $100 million. And then when we were shooting, so we turned it down to 10. And then when we were shooting the first season, the news of the McSnapchat turning down like $6 billion or whatever it ended up being. So I guess egg on our face.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the tech world kept getting crazier and crazier in the course of the year when we shot the pilot. When it came out, we were looping lines to change the amounts. Like TJ Miller had improv'd a line about Grindr and saying he owned 10%. Then we realized if he really owned 10% of Grindr, he'd be worth like $100 million or something. So we had to say a small percentage of Grindr.
I like that in the future, now, old money families are like the Rockefellers and Carnegies, and it's from steel and railways. But in 100 years, there'll be some little Lord Fauntleroy who's like, my family money is from Grindr.
The Grindr estate.
And the grinders will look down on the new money.
Yeah. We had to toil and sweat over it to try and find out who was DTF in a certain mile radius.
We had to facilitate glory hole blowjobs.
You kids have it so easy.
I actually, when we were writing the first season, it actually was kind of hard to tell stories. The amounts of money were so stunning that we did a lot of research the first season, and we would ask venture capitalists, okay, what are all of the sort of interesting, funny challenges that these guys would have raising money? And every single person just said, oh, these guys, they'd be able to raise $10 million, no problem. Any VC in the Valley would give them $10 million immediately. And we're like, well, that doesn't really make for an interesting show. So,
And maybe you should
how
just
could
make
they
a
fuck that
company
up?
instead of making a show, and you'd all just be wealthy.
yeah, no, that's definitely occurred to us. With the amount of time and effort we've put into the show, we're like, what the fuck are we doing? Why don't we just start a company? This is crazy.
But we joke about years from now, and what you guys are saying is like absurd, and we're all laughing, but it's kind of true. I mean, it's an absurd amount of wealth. And I sort of wonder, from like a story perspective, how you guys go about researching the reality and then finding a way to sort of turn it on its head.
We just get a ton of money. We're just given
We're method that way.
tons and tons of, yeah, we have to have enough money to flush out our characters.
Yeah, you gotta get.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's HBO.
For art, guys.
But again, no amount of cash will quiet the howling in your head at night.
In my
You
head,
save that
Berg's
quiet
head.
for the lone bullet in the golf. Fucking hell, just made it so dark. Way to go, man. Push it over the edge. Put that down.
Down you go.
It's a disease. It deserves to be there.
It's diseased.
It's diseased. Well, how'd you guys do it? Come on, answer it. Go on.
What was the?
Well, I guess what's the secret to sort of finding the right timbre and pitch between the absurdity that you might want to dial up and the reality that we're all just watching happen?
Well, the tech world is so absurd that, I mean, sometimes we find ourselves actually, you're like, well, if you put that in the show, no one would believe it, you know, and you just kind of do it as is, and it's pretty ridiculous, you know. It's pretty, tech world has made it very easy for us in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I feel like every time I'm up in San Francisco, someone will come up and be like, they'll quote something from the show and say, that happened to me, verbatim. You didn't exaggerate it for comedy. That literally happened to me. And I don't know what to say. Like, my condolences, or like, why am I saying that? You're probably so many millionaires.
We had a real guy, just a sort of tech entrepreneur guy on the show, and I won't say who he was, but we have a bunch of real cameos, and this guy showed up, and we sort of didn't know quite what he did. Apparently he was some big shot. So we looked at his company website, and the landing page had this long thing about how their goal is to help humanity thrive and this and that. And Mike actually talked to him, and for I think 5 or 10 minutes, you assumed that he worked for some charity or something, because that's what the website looked like. And then it turns out he just made like some enterprise to-do list or something like that. But
I actually asked him, I said, so you do like a charity thing? He's like, well, no. And it was embarrassing, but if you looked at their page, it was like, we are saving the world, and it literally says, we're helping humanity thrive.
Is that the guy that did he invented the thumbs up emoticon?
We weren't going to out him, but
Well,
you can Google it.
when we were having the premiere here, like when the show premiered at South by Southwest a couple years ago, I was in the hotel lobby eating, and I heard someone rehearsing their pitch for the tech, the tech part of the festival.
Oh, no.
And the guy said, verbatim, he said, our app is the Mahatma Gandhi of apps.
Turns out it was. It was
really-
like, you open it, just gives you a bio of Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah. And then it
It's
makes
hard to refute that.
yeah. It makes
It's called Gandhi. Download it.
if the British will let you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some fun political, geopolitical. You got to know your history of it for that one. That's fun. Used
Down
to be
you
a
go.
colony.
Wait, that was mine.
Part of the empire,
No.
along with Pakistan, until they carved it up, and now we have what we have today. It's fun.
All right.
Sweet.
The lull of an audience.
Well, but like as actors, right? Like how much of that stuff do you just sort of take off the page versus actually paying attention in the news and sort of bring that in? Because you guys seem to do a lot of improv, both here and on the show. How much input do you guys have into your characters and the plot?
Plot is their whole deal. That's kind of what Mike and Alec specialize in.
When they're not sharing a microphone, they're busy coming up with the show.
Writing plots.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
So that answers part of your question.
Thank you, Martin. That was
Yeah,
helpful.
no problem, man.
It's I feel like we're very fortunate enough so that when we get a script to shoot, it's very well woven. There's some great jokes and set pieces and all that kind of stuff. So there's not like, it's not incumbent on us to, incumbent president on us to like be forced to like make it good or anything like that. We would just try and like suggest little bits to just create a moment here or there or a joke, and thankfully they'll let us play from time to time.
And sometimes,
Ooh, is this the tension you were talking about when you said you visited?
Yeah.
But at the risk of sounding like just like a complete brown noser, I do think
Oh
like
boy, here we go.
Yeah, stick it up. Stick it up in there.
I just think if you look at these writers, their sexual magnetism is only exceeded by their intellectual felicity. And no, I think like it's a weird thing like being in something like this, because we walk around and people see us and they know we're from the show, so they say nice things to us. But the truth is like the show, the writing is, if you like the show, what you like is probably mostly just the writing. And I feel like it's like they work all, it's like, I feel like an analogy is like if you think of the show as a baby,
Sure.
they're the mother,
Which most
and they have
people
to
do, yeah.
carry it around, and it fucks up their back, and it tears. I mean, it's horribly painful, and they do it.
It makes turns your nipples into little dicks.
Yeah, it turns their nipples into dicks. And it turns their nipples into dicks, and we're just the dads, so we had some role in making
We're out
it come alive.
partying.
We're
We're
partying.
going beers. We're playing foosball at the local foosball table emporium.
Yeah, we're doing crank in the back of Lamaze class.
I mean, it takes them a whole year to write 10 episodes. That either tells you they're very diligent or shitty and slow. Take it away, guys.
But the reverse is also true, that I do think there are a lot of times when we're writing stuff where we're like, we just need to make it good enough in places, and we know that you guys will take it and sort of elevate it. And sometimes there are things where we're like, we're tired and we're just, all right, this is as good as we can get it. Those guys will find some piece of this and turn it into something that's much better. And so
shouldn't
you
let
guys
them hear that.
actually make us lazy in a way.
Oh, cool.
That's not so
And
great.
the next year's scripts will reflect that. We will continue to get lazier and lazier.
You're implementing this later.
Yeah, it will just be the guys enter, period.
You're already talking about next season? Really?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's a huge hit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like,
Just had lunch with the president of show business last week. He says he's canceling everything else in Hollywood.
congratulations.
I wasn't there.
It was a
I'm
private
hearing
affair.
this now, yeah.
He was a cutout.
What, I mean, you guys need to understand, these guys get pitched all the time by Silicon Valley. Like, we were in the back room, and there were guys from can I say who it is? I mean, should I say who it is? But like, this tech company that we've all read about in the news is coming up and like handing business cards and cornering them and telling them all about their like business strategies. And there is no hint, it's like a deer in headlights, right? Like you are just gonna take this conversation and find a way to weave it into the show. And I sort of wondered, like, does Silicon Valley are they just completely like out to lunch about what you're doing? Like, why does anyone talk to you about this stuff?
They want to be a part of the show.
You know what it feels like? Honestly, it feels like, especially as an actor, you know, you run up against other actors. There's this like sort of mantra of like hustle it at all costs. And there are certain actors that have like, you know, their headshots on their business card, and they're like, hey, if you know Martin Scorsese, just please pass this on to him. I'd love to be in this movie, or something like that. And it's just like that, like. I have no shame, or I will stop at nothing to put my name on some casting director's list.
We just
And
had
you
Leo
gotta admire the
DiCaprio and Martin
moxie, but
Scorsese
it's-
met
huh?
up. That's how Leo DiCaprio met Martin Scorsese,
Oh,
because he
yeah.
was handing out his business
Yeah.
cards.
It
Leo
works.
DiCap.
It works. My point is that it works, and no, but I feel like I get that. I get why that's happening, because it's just like this is another avenue of elevating and, I don't know, garnering VC ding-dongs.
But you're saying also, like, why would they subject themselves to ridicule? Like, why would they offer up themselves to then be made fun of?
Because, man, that elevates the brand.
Yeah.
They seem to like, well, we were talking early on, like, like when Spinal Tap came out, I was like, man, the heavy metal bands are gonna hate this, but you know, they all love it. And it's kind of the same with us. Like, and we'd go meet with these big. I mean, we went to Google, Facebook, and they all kind of did the same thing. They go like, hey, you know, that's great the way you make fun of us all, saying, you know, we're making the world a better place, but we really are making the world a better place. Every one of them would do that. Like, and then they'd show us how, and no, we're doing this in Haiti, and we're doing this and that, and we're really, you know, I mean, there's a guy from Groupon who had a new company, and he was like Groupon started out as some kind of thing for social protest and organizing co-ops, and before he knew it, he was selling coupons, and now he's got a new app, and he was making fun of all this stuff and giving us all this material, and then saying, but I'm telling you, I really do believe I'm making the world a better place with my new app, and it was actually a pretty cool one, so maybe he is, but.
So do you feel bad? I mean, do you ever,
Oh,
how
no.
do you sleep at night?
I feel good.
But I think people like to be made fun of as long as it feels accurate. It's like if your friends give you shit for something, then you feel sort of known if it's something that's true.
Yeah.
So if my girlfriend's like, you big, tall, stupid idiot, then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, she noticed. Yeah.
By the way, that was a humble brag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big.
Literally.
That he has a
Oh, about being
girlfriend?
tall?
Yeah, well,
or
both.
having a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I do. I have a girlfriend.
Ladies,
Yeah.
watch out.
Everyone exits.
I feel sweaty after that. But you know, are there people? Has the reaction been all positive? It surely can't. I mean, there have to be people who are pissed, even like a little bit.
Well, I think people just react to the show the way, you know, I sat next to Ron Conway at something, who was an old school, super wealthy VC, and he turned to me at one point, he goes, what do you do? And I said, I work on that HBO Silicon Valley show. He goes, oh yeah, I saw one episode of that show. I hated it. I thought it was terrible. And then he told me that his children liked it, and I complimented him on how he had raised his children. But there was no veneer. He just was that guy. And there were a lot of people, like, it's the fascinating thing about you're coupling like staggering wealth with kind of the personality trait of a lot of engineers, where there's just no chip that lets them interact with humans on any like capable level. And these are the people in charge of that business, which makes it, I mean, that's what makes, I think, the world so fun in a way, that it's just these crazy rich people who can act on any impulse, and a lot of their impulses are batshit. You know, which just leads to fun, I think.
And for anyone who doesn't know who Ron Conway is, you should totally Google him. He's exceptionally wealthy and extremely powerful. And it
Physically.
actually, oh, sorry.
Just physically, he's very
he's
strong.
Commanding presence. Yeah.
He's a fairly large, hale man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not joking.
Yeah, he grabbed me by the wrist and said, shh, and I did. Spreading nonsense rumors about Ron Conway. He shoved me in the mud and said, only dirty pigs go in the mud. Okay. Fine.
Now I just feel really bad for his kids.
His kids have been nothing but nice to me. Never met his kids. This has to end. I will say too, though, you know, like some of the, you know, the people that fall under the umbrella of, you know, got to be made fun of in Silicon Valley. Like, to be honest, I'm tired of like these, you know, oil barons, you know, like fucking up the world and being like profit, money, greed. And I don't mind if, you know, Elon Musk is making billions of dollars as long as he makes a Powerwall and, you know, has us all, you know, living off the sun. Like, that sounds good. You know, there's a bit of a trade-off. Like, I'd have a weird guy be my mogul if it meant, you know, we got rid of that old stereotype of like the Carnegies and whatever's of, you know, just like at all cost, I have a competition in me, etc. Claim
Yeah.
you. How many impressions can I do? Help me. Kill me.
Oh no,
Shoot me
he's
in the
Williamsing.
face. Huh? Swillem dancing?
okay.
But the
Swillhelm dancing.
The fun part of it is that they actually believe that they're not even business. Like, there's a sense that they're not even business people. It's
Right,
just,
right,
they
right.
just, yes, they are making billions of dollars, but let's not pay attention to that.
Right.
The fact is, I'm just doing this thing that helps humanity thrive. You know, and at least I feel like those old barons were like, yeah, I'm building a railroad and helping people move, but I'm also making a shit ton of money,
Yes.
and I'm not ashamed of it.
And to be fair, the railroads brought the country together, so I guess you're right. Man, fuck this Musk dude.
That was really my point.
Yeah, piece of shit. He thinks he's all that. Man, fuck Tesla. I drive a Vault. American made. I think Tesla is too.
Yeah, it's for sure American.
Fuck that shit.
100%.
Definitely American.
Wow.
You'd never guess it by the name. Tell you that much.
It's named after an American scientist.
Scientist, yeah.
Yeah, but he's probably his family's like from
Probably
Russia.
as immigrants. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
no one
Fuck
is.
Tesla.
All right.
It's important to have fun when you're on stage. What do you guys want to know about the show?
It's not that time yet.
Uh,
It's not time for you yet.
This room is so weird and long that I feel like the back third is just CGI people. Like it just,
they're bizarrely, you guys are more lit than the front.
Yeah.
I see you much more clearly.
Stop waving at us. Nobody believes that.
your pixels.
You look kind of fake back
Yeah.
So this was the plan, to have it sort of peter out? To have it just sort of end quietly and then have us sort of like fucking try to keep it going on our end? Zach, what'd you have for breakfast?
I skipped breakfast.
Pussy? Pussy ass bitch.
You know me. No.
That's what he needs.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, his girlfriend's right here in the front row. Stand up, Jocelyn. Come on. No,
Yeah,
you
come
want
on,
to.
Jocelyn.
Come on, Jocelyn.
Come on,
Zach
Jocelyn.
Woods' girlfriend. She's a beautiful actress.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetheart.
She's very shy.
She's actually, you're competing again for luge, I hear. Congratulations, Winter
Yeah.
Games. That's so great. She's a winter Olympian.
For those
That's
in the back,
100%
she's
a
very
lie.
embarrassed. She doesn't like this at all.
But at least she's a real person. Unlike you, holograms.
Holly Grams? That'd be if someone's named Holly and they have an Instagram account, Holly Graham is
Yes.
fucking perfect. So choice.
Or for like a cereal, though, because that sounds delicious.
Josh.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. This was great.
It's gone.
All right.
Josh,
So-
come back.
He really committed to that.
Oh, I wanted that so badly to go in someone's eye.
So did I, Thomas.
Claws are out. Watch out, Austin. Let's dish on local government. Anyone here from City Hall? That's good, because we're about to tear you a fucking new one.
Your comptroller is inefficient.
Oh, can we please put a limit on the food truck licenses? Thank you. What else? What else?
He's just
guys
so
wanna know?
desperate to
Yeah.
ask a question.
Yeah,
You
ask
will
away.
not let him
I,
do
I
it.
just want to know how much time we have. Is it like 25 minutes?
We have a
35?
half hour.
30
We have an
minutes and
entire
50
hour
seconds.
left.
51, 50, 49,
49,
48, 47,
We can't do it.
46.
How do you guys all know the clock and I don't know the clock? How did that happen?
It's right there.
Dude,
It's
it's
right.
just a clock.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
fine,
It's been counting down since we got here.
God. It's been 30 minutes and it feels like a year of my life.
Well, excuse you, catty little bee.
Oh, man. Here we are.
He's such a nice person.
Have you all met my son, Amy Solomon? Amy, come on, take a bow. She works on the show. She's my boy. She's my precious son.
You're going to have to ask a question.
Amy, what's your favorite part
Some
about
point.
soccer practice? Is it the game and the passing of the ball?
Thomas has started doing very inside crowd work. That's okay. That's the rest of the
Okay,
30
there's
minutes,
literally
guys.
nothing else being said right now. Steven, let's go.
I mean, if you think about it, on set with these people must be really a joy. How do you rein this in and keep it like the clock going? Do you just like hold his check here and tell him he can't have it? How does that work? Do you threaten to fire him from Pied Piper and write him off the show? Like, how does this work?
Answer it, Thomas.
Oh, well, you guys get to play good cop in the movie and TV making biz. There's always an assistant director, and
We've gone through several.
sadly have. What's our Nick? Who is he has this
Nick's
like
great.
he always has this line of like, let's go because I'm gonna die now or something like that. He has these lines that are very morose and hilarious, but you can just tell that being in the business has killed him. But
He
yeah,
said
we're-
once on set, he was like, the 80s job is to eat nails while the actors eat cotton candy. Sorry, just joking, but
it's true.
First ADs do have like this is actually true, like a life expectancy of like 51 years.
Is that true?
This is a true thing across
my God.
Hollywood. Like 51 years is.
It's not a bad life.
Yeah, 15-hour days yelling at people seems chill. We do. It is a thing. I mean, we rev each other up. We're like old-timey cars, and we rev each other up. They built us a room, like a private room with like
Yes.
video games
A
and
cage.
stuff, like to go like when they're setting up and working, like just go and play FIFA.
So
you
you're nearby.
idiots.
so we've somehow become worse than the people we're parodying.
Yeah, and we have very coolly called that room the Bone Zone. So we say, hey, that was fun. You want to go to the Bone Zone?
So you guys entered as fans and will leave as, I'm not sure what.
Mortal enemies of the show. Like the show, can't stand the cast.
One thing that we've sort of seen is that these guys can't succeed. And I remember talking to you guys for the first season, there was this big sense that if they just got $100 million, the show would basically just putter out and die. How hard is it to keep inventing new ways for these guys to keep fucking up and have the world shit on them?
Well, that definitely is the challenge of writing the show. Like, I do think, like, we always looked at them as sort of the Bad News Bears or like Delta House, where they're constantly sort of outsiders trying to crack the big machine and get a win. And I do think once these guys are the guys, with all the money and all the success, the show sort of ends. So the challenge of doing it year after year is how many different interesting ways can we get these guys to trip up without, infuriating the audience and, having it be like Lucy in the football, where eventually people just go, fuck it, I can't watch these guys fail again.
Do you think there's any room for if they get to be ballers, there's a show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can we
it's
be
a
like
show called Ballers.
It's called Ballers.
Yeah, it's really good. Ballers.
But
Entourage,
like
Silicon
I
Valley.
bet VCs are like, let me tell you, more money, more problem. They're probably saying that as they're driving a Ferrari on a racetrack. But do you think there's anything there or no?
Well,
Teasers.
we definitely get pitched a lot of like, oh, the guy should be like worth $10 billion. It would be amazing. You could do this and that. And it's like, yeah, that's your life as a rich VC guy, but that I don't know how. And I think a lot of people think that their life or they think certain things are super compelling stories and that would make a great TV show. But the reality is, I think, I don't know, like it's hard to do a show about a compelling guy who gets everything he wants. And every time we try to have you guys win even a little, like the beginning of season 2, you guys were out on the VC trail and you had all the cards and everybody wanted a piece of you. And we started to write the beginning of season 2, and almost immediately we were like, this is just fucking boring. Like watching you guys win and win is just not, it's just not fun TV.
Do you
So
think
we had
you
to
hate us
figure
a
out-
little?
Huh?
Do you think you just hate us as people a little bit, and seeing us be happy even on screen is unsettling for you?
I feel like I've suspected that for a long time, and now, yeah, I think you're right.
We all hate ourselves too, so that's cool.
I'm pretty content actually.
Is there anything that's off limits for you guys? I mean specifically with the show, not like
Oh, got it.
not like us afterwards or anything like that.
I thought that was a big question.
So is there anything off limits?
And I'll add some meat to that, which go
Yeah,
ahead.
put a bit of meat on that.
Yeah.
Would you like me to add to that? I'll add to that. So, San Francisco, and I can say this because I lived there and have been there for 11 years, is a really fucked up, weird place now. And even since you started the show, it's changed dramatically. You basically, you never see real skateboards anymore. You know, you see
You see an electric
Segways,
one, yeah.
and you see those hoverboards that don't actually hover, and everybody's riding like an electric skateboard, and I even saw like an electric unicycle one time.
Ooh.
And like, that shit is absurd, and you see it every day, and that wasn't the case maybe 3 years ago, and I just sort of wonder, like, at what point is, I don't know, is it just too absurd to even lampoon anymore?
Well, we won't touch the skateboard issue.
Yeah.
I mean, that is solidly
It's
off
too-
limits.
it's
It's
too
too incendiary.
tumultuous.
It's a real heavy issue that is
Too
affecting my
much.
community. But no,
We got to turn into the Jetsons at one point, and at one point there must be a great cull of the skateboard herd in order to make way for the Jetsons, dude. Don't you get this?
I don't get it. But I'll add to it, right? Like, so San Francisco faces a lot of like intense, heavy problems, and this is like the biggest bummer of a thing to mention. But like homelessness, costs are going through the roofs. Schools are terrible. Like, there's just this influx of money that's affecting this community in a way that's actually somewhat, I don't know, negative. And I sort of wonder, since you're covering this space with the show, can that be funny? Can you find funny in satirizing things like that, and how?
You mean here now or in general?
In
do some
general.
pitches.
In general.
No, I mean, we certainly don't shy away from it by choice, but, you know, I think most of what we do, we come at from a comedic angle, and if we have a satirical kind of funny bent on it, we'll do it. But I don't think we're a social action wing of any, you know, like, I don't think there's hypocrisy there, we need to root it out for the good of humanity. Like, we are charged with doing an entertaining television show that's funny and enjoyable to watch, I think, first and foremost.
But we are making the world a better place.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
beat me too.
yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
What are you guys doing?
I mean,
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because after the first season, I remember there was definitely, you know, it's a bunch of young white guys, and like there was people
And
reacting to
Kumail,
that.
Yeah.
he's
And he's not even here.
no.
Where did you
because
put
he
him?
doesn't think it's important.
You know, but how much does that sort of feedback affect going into season 2 and season 3 and clearly season 4, which you've already sort of teased?
Which
How-
is so funny, by the way.
Is it good?
Oh my God.
Season 4.
Season 4 is
Sorry.
dope.
But you can't make this stuff in a vacuum, and I'm just sort of wondering, and I think we're all wondering, like, how do you sort of make something with feedback, but not exist in an echo chamber, but not let that feedback derail it, so you're just like a social action comedy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there were definitely, like, first season, you know, we got a lot of flack, some of it deservedly so, about how male and white the makeup of the show was, but we're also satirizing a real world. And that real world, the people who do what our guys do are 87% male. Venture capitalists at the partner level are 96% male and white. You know, so the world that we're depicting is every bit as off-kilter as our show is. And I actually talked to somebody, we shot some stuff at TechCrunch Disrupt, the actual event. It's like a big convention if you don't know.
I think they know.
And some of the computer people in the back don't. They only know what we program them to know. So we shot some crowd footage, much like a crowd like this, and we cut it into our show. And I have a friend who works in the tech business, and she called me and she just said, you know, let me tell you what's wrong with your show. And she said, those crowd shots were absurd. You didn't put any women in there. And I had to tell her, those are real shots of the real place, and we didn't frame women out. You know, so but that is an ongoing discussion. Like, the world that we're depicting is fucked up, but do we have the responsibility to make the gender and racial balance on our show ideal when the world that we're depicting isn't?
Yeah, totally. I think it's like totally worthwhile that women get upset at that, but I don't think they should be upset at the show. They should be upset at themselves, really, for not trying hard enough. Sorry.
Finally.
Yeah, tell it as it is.
No, yeah. But I think there's, I mean, yeah, get him, I don't know, fucking get it, yeah, go. Code and be awesome, that's right. Isn't that what they're supposed to do?
Jocelyn, did you want to weigh in?
Jocelyn,
Yeah,
you're a female Winter Olympian coder.
yeah. You're practically up here on the stage. Oh, man.
Oh no, what have I
She's
done?
sweating at the palms.
Oh, Jesus, we're sorry.
That one was my fault. Sorry.
Here it is.
What?
Sniff it?
No.
All right.
It's okay.
Finally!
Does do the people here have questions?
Oh, there's people in here. I didn't realize.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
them.
even a microphone, it looks like.
Do
It
you
looks
want?
like
Are you guys ready for questions? Do you feel
Yeah.
like-
Well, do you have any
yeah.
really good ones?
I mean,
All right.
probably not.
Well, no,
There's a lot of time. If you guys would like to take audience questions, we certainly
Oh,
could.
no.
We don't have the itinerary. You tell us.
I do this for a living, boys. This is my deal. So I could ask questions all day long.
All right.
Take it away.
What?
What's your favorite food?
Like in its perfect form?
In its perfect
Because
form.
like a perfect peach. That's hard.
Really?
It's hard to beat. A perfectly ripened peach.
Huh.
Hard to
Peach.
beat.
I wouldn't
So
go
yeah, we'll
fruit.
take questions from the audience.
I like eggs. I'm an egg man.
Eggs?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bold.
I'm curious about Aviato and the inspiration for it and what it means to some of you guys.
Oh, this is.
What it means to
I'll give
us.
you a very boring answer, which is when we try to come up with names, basically any combination of 6 letters is taken. There's a company, and you just have to try a million times to clear one. And that was just one that cleared.
All right.
And that's the answer.
Yeah.
But it was, I remember before the table read, without saying anything to TJ Miller, saying, I bet he's going to pronounce it Aviato. And he did. There you go. That's an amazing
Mind
story.
meld.
Next.
Okay, so you guys talk about how accurate this show is to the tech world. Are there actually people like Josh's character that just don't do anything and sit on the roof the whole time?
I'm that person. I go to
Yeah.
work like once every few months. No, there are actual. That's a real thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, being on the roof is actually based on a real thing. Somebody I knew somebody at Microsoft who sold their company to Microsoft, and then he basically had to show up every day to vest his options. But apparently his manager and his division believed in the Japanese style of management where not assigning somebody to a task is shameful. And he just thought it was a great way to spend more time on his boat. So he worked for, I think, 4 years and fully vested without being assigned to anything. And so it's sort of based on a real thing.
Perfect for Josh.
I scream incompetence.
Hi, I'm Martha. First question, who didn't tell me that Martin Starr was so ripped?
Hey.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And second question is, I just want to know, I mean, I'm a social media manager, so that means I know how to post to Facebook. I just want to know about your interest in tech, or maybe the extent of any of your knowledge, the actors. I mean, are you interested in tech? What do you like about it?
But first, handle her first question.
I will say, I'd seen Freaks and Geeks and was like such an admirer of Martin, and I never met you in person, and then I showed up, and I had the same reaction that you did. Where I was like,
Well, I'm party down. I don't remember that either, but it could have been covered up by the,
Giant white shirts we all wore?
yeah.
Yeah, probably. Sorry I didn't send out a press release.
Next time.
His hair is crazy soft, by the way.
Oh.
You wouldn't know that, but it's true.
I believe it.
You know.
I guess that's it. All right, thank you.
you were asking about our
there was
interest
another
in tech.
question. Go ahead.
I mean, I was always sort of scared of it. I'm pretty inept with tech stuff, and that hasn't changed that much.
No, he's still off Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook, etc.
Although I was just telling another one of these, got this app called Soothe, which is like Uber for massage.
Yeah.
and I've been using that.
That's not a real app.
It's real. I
It's a
got it
real app.
yesterday.
Wow.
And
Come to your house.
she comes to your, she came to my house and she, they give you a massage and you don't know who they are and it's scary, but then ultimately relaxing.
His masseuse yesterday had a bit of a foot fetish.
Yeah, she spent like a half hour on my feet and I didn't know why. And yeah, she was,
I know why.
Yeah, if you see these toes.
If you see these feet, hi-chi-cha-chi.
thank you.
I like a bit of. I'm technologically motivated, but my enthusiasm is through games. So I don't know how to code so much, but I can troubleshoot. I can download some drivers and hope that'll fix my problem, right? NVIDIA. But yeah, big PC gamer, so through that to some degree. But I think the show has educated us a bit on the kind of business aspect of it. But I still feel I know a piece of a much larger pizza.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Hi, I had a quick question. Due to the success of the show, do you ever see it spinning off in different regions, like Silicon Hills, Silicon Alley, Silicon Swamp? Do you see it going that ridiculously in that direction?
There was actually an article, I think it was in the New York Times, about how there's a lot of interest in startup culture in China. And they asked a bunch of Chinese entrepreneurs about the show and about how a startup would work in China. And I think everybody basically assailed the Richard character for being way too soft and for making decisions based on ethics and not on what's better for the company. And I think consensus was that he wouldn't last a day at a Chinese startup. So if we did the Chinese version, obviously we would have to retool a bit.
Fair enough, thank you.
Hi. So we talked a lot about how the diversity in the show basically reflects the poor diversity in the Valley, but I'm curious about the diversity within your writing room, and because that is a world that you guys probably have more control over. And the last thing is, I actually didn't know Martin Starr was ripped because a friend of mine dated him, and she mentioned that.
Oh no! Yeah!
Wow.
Hey,
This feels like weird gossip hour
What else
in front
did-
of
what else
400
did she
people.
tell
All
you?
kinds of weird gossip. Another person I know actually dated Thomas in Toronto. Went on one day with Thomas in Toronto.
Yeah! Whoa! Right, guys?
Toronto.
Ah, fuck, no one's
But
in it
back
with
to
me.
the writing room.
And I have a girlfriend.
Come on, Jocelyn. Come say hi to the nice
stand
people.
up.
Come on.
People need to see you.
Yes. You didn't
As
wear
an
that nice
actress,
dress
you're in
for
a
nothing.
movie.
Come on. She's an
I
actress, but
will.
she's shy. It's a rough.
She is an actress in a movie.
To get serious for a
Yeah,
second.
it's hard.
I mean, I don't know the exact percentages offhand, but I think we've done a mildly decent job of hiring writers of color, female writers. 50% of the outside directors we've hired have been women. We're not there yet.
Right.
We're not there yet, but I swear to you, we're trying.
Okay.
It's just hard because, No. It's like, why would you? It's just hard, because there's obviously a better choice, but I guess PR-wise you have to make. I'm a stinker, and sometimes I stink. It comes out and it smells.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So before you started filming the first season, did you ever try to go visit an incubator or like the bars in Palo Alto or, anything up there to get a sense of what you were getting into?
Yeah, we did a bunch of research. One of my best friend's nephews works at Google. We went there. That's where we realized that it's really 87% dudes. And in the bars also, when you go to Palo Alto. Yeah, we did a bunch of research. Wait, was that your question? Sorry,
Well,
I don't.
did you send the cast out there too? Like, did you guys go try to get a real sense of?
Oh, you're
What it's
giving us
like.
too much credit as actors.
I watched documentaries and stuff and read books about it, but I never went up there.
I just want you guys to go. It's really bad. It's not fun.
We've been up a lot now.
Yeah, we've gone
because of the
upstairs.
show.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
Why is it so bad?
You live up there?
My sister lives in Palo
What
Alto.
happened to you? What's wrong?
Yeah. Tell your story.
My sister went to Stanford, and I feel like every time I go up there, the Stanford kids just stay on campus because they're like, we go to Palo Alto, and it's so not fun.
Dude,
It's very true. I lived up there. Yeah, my ex-wife's from there, so I've spent a ton of time there. Yeah, it's kind of the no sense of humor capital of the world, that city. I watched Naked Gun in a movie theater there, and I was the only one laughing.
Well.
But I shouldn't bag on it. It's
Was it after the murder trial?
very intelligent people. What's that?
But
Nothing.
you know, if you're a fan of like Birkenstocks and socks, and a nice pullover fleece,
Patagonia vest.
you're gonna fit in,
Yeah.
right? Sure. Martin?
Yeah, definitely. 100% you'll fit right in.
Sorry, what did you say? I couldn't quite catch that.
No.
Just really distracted.
No.
Wow.
This guy has an Aviato shirt.
Hey, nice.
Hey, okay. Hey,
I didn't
hi.
even know this panel was happening. I happened to wear this today.
Are you lying or being truthful?
Yeah.
I knew your comedy show was happening tonight, but
Okay.
I was walking in the street in New York, and I saw a guy with a Pied Piper shirt, and I was so psyched. I was like, hey, man, nice shirt. And then I walked away and felt like a smug shithead for the rest of the day.
But he looked at you weird. He didn't
was
recognize
like,
you and
"All
looked at
right,
you weird and was like,
yeah."
yeah, thanks, weirdo.
Yeah.
What's your point, dude? I got to get someplace. So you have a question, Aviato?
yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna call you Aviato from now on.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to ask Mike Judge about Office Space in that movie. Those guys.
Wrong panel, bro. Wrong.
Martin will answer the question.
Well, some of those guys were programmers that sort of, I can't remember what the company did or if we really showed what they did. Like, did that inform any of the experience with this, or did that percolate stories over the years that you had kicking around your head to make this show, or?
Well, in a way, like, I think those guys, if they'd, been born, I don't know, 15, 20 years later, could have been startup guys, I mean, I think it's, I used to be an engineer, and so, I mean, to me, Office Space was kind of set in the late 80s, even though it came out in 99. And I think just that world has changed so much that I think, but yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what your question was, but I think.
Just the bridge, if there's any your experience between the two worlds or whatever.
Yeah, actually, Mark Andreessen of Andreessen Horowitz, founder of Netscape, he said this show, Office Space and this show were kind of like bookends, which I think is I kind of get that.
Thanks.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Aviato.
Sorry.
I interrupted all the
his question.
interrupted all the.
Aviato
Okay.
is so intimidating.
Sorry.
Fun, yeah.
I said words at you.
Just
and I
be
was-
nice to him. That's my
Yeah.
judge. Just be nice to him.
And then
Yeah.
you just walk away.
God,
be a
so
fucking dickhead.
tough. Take it easy, Aviato.
Hey guys, there's a lot of Bay Area blogs and kind of the Bay Area elite out there that seem like they're unhappy with the show in some ways. Like Pando, you read their stuff and they seem to not be able to take any jokes.
Pando
The
Daily?
moderator's
That's one
asking
guy.
why you don't make fun of electric skateboards. Why can't the real Silicon Valley find enough humor in the Silicon Valley you guys are making compared to the rest of America?
I think we just went over it. That's the no humor capital of the world.
Well, it's made up of geeks who are made fun of their whole life, and how can they?
That's why. I think you really hit the nail on the head right there.
Glad I could help you guys out.
Yeah, I mean, you really helped us out. Yeah, thank you. Phenomenal.
Maybe it's because I'm on the show and they, thankfully, hopefully, don't have the brass to be like, I hate what you do to my face, because that would really hurt me. I'm too sensitive. But I've had the opposite. I mean, I have people coming up and be like, this is crazy. This is my life. But maybe at a higher up level, I don't know. I mean, I could perceive the success story looking at the show being like, well, that's not how it was. But they kind of have a different view of what the protagonists in Silicon Valley, the show, are going through. Maybe you guys take it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I was surprised how. I mean, Sergey and Larry, from Google, were wearing. What was it like? Was it a Hooli shirt and a Pied Piper when they did the Ice Bucket Challenge? And
That's funny.
I've seen
nice.
pictures of Zuckerberg wearing a Pied Piper T-shirt. I
Yeah,
think
we
that
met Zuckerberg.
I think a lot of them like it, which was really nice to hear. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people. I think a lot of people that don't like it, they just don't watch it or talk about it. So we don't really hear about it that
Pando
much,
Daily.
other than the Pando Daily guy, which Alec was obsessed with.
Maybe he just doesn't like the show. Maybe he just doesn't care for a particular brand of humor.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And writes about it every week.
Every day.
The funnest
Pando
part to me
Daily.
was that he would write these scathing reviews of how awful our show was and how desperately unfunny TJ was every week. And then the comments underneath would be like 750 comments that wished that his AIDS would get cancer and he would die a horrible death. And that I have to be honest, that made me feel a little bit better.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna take that last question right now. Last one. Sorry, everybody.
Christopher Evans Welch is my favorite part of season 1.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, wow, Jesus, Steven.
I just want to know.
No,
if you
no,
guys,
because the guy had to go.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but Christopher Welsh.
Do you want to take the second question? It's up to you.
Sure. You're running the show.
Come back, other guy, and then.
That doesn't.
All right.
And then.
It doesn't mean you have to stop though.
Yeah. Last question after that guy, and then please on to Chris.
yeah, Christopher Evans Welch is my favorite part of season 1. I just wondered if you guys could share maybe a personal moment or have a fond memory of Peter Gregory.
Yeah, the late great Christopher Evan Welch. I mean, for me, when we were casting, like that was. I mean, I was sort of like, you know, when you're reading people, you know, you write something and it's like, you know, you hope that you're going to find someone that's going to really embody what you're going for, and that was like when he read for it, that was the first time where I started to just see how the show could be really, really good and really reflect the Valley in a funny way. So I mean, he was a huge part of just inspiring us all in the first season. Yeah, he was. I mean, he's just a very amazing actor to watch. Like and when you're editing, there's like never a false moment with him. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing but good stuff to say. It was all very sad.
When you're starting a show, you're sort of, I mean, you're kind of trying to find the character, and it can take a little while to dial into what you want to do with the character. But I felt like even at the first table read, he had like this whole physicality and this weird cadence to his speech that didn't feel manufactured, but also felt completely bizarre and hilarious. And so to have that like fully conceived, fully realized character from the get-go, just from an actor's perspective, I was like I was admiring and jealous of that. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah, and it's a total departure from what he's like day to day.
Yeah,
he's just like
that was the interesting thing is that he's not, you know, he was not like that guy
At all.
and he just put it on, but yeah, it was like head to toe, like the way he walked, the whole thing. It's just so embodied a tech billionaire so perfectly.
He made it look so effortless too. He was my favorite part of the first season as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the asparagus line, I just thought you had written it for him.
Well, I actually said that to a waiter once, and we were talking about that in the writers' room, and yeah, put it right in the show.
What's the asparagus line
It's
again?
are you still enjoying your asparagus? And he's like, I was never enjoying it for the nutrients.
I was only eating it for the nutrients.
Yeah. I said that to a waiter at Houston's.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Terrific question.
you.
All right, last question.
This
This
better
is it.
be
This is you.
a good one.
Yeah.
After that whole fucking circus, this better be on point.
Okay.
man.
Wow. Thank you for taking my question.
Okay, you're
Earn
starting
it,
off
Bruce.
nice.
Earn it.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
I made it.
18, 17, 16.
Fucking can't
Let's
ask
down.
it.
Okay, so like we see in Austin on the back of pedicabs, there is the ad, Pied Piper, humanity thrive, right? So is that like more like the sarcasm on like some of like Silicon Valley companies which are like trying to present themselves as charitable companies, or is it like something which is going to give us a tease on like season 3?
Well, it's a little of both.
Oh yeah.
Is that the one with like the woman on the beach? I actually haven't seen him yet. I saw him,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen him on a pedicab yet.
The one with the
With the
hands.
seeds?
and
Was
the-
it with the oh yeah, yeah. Now that was good. Yeah, that's a.
We stole that from real company.
Yeah, we just
Don't
literally
say
stole
sto-
that from
you
it.
don't say stole.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a copy.
Well, they stole it from.
we call it homage.
Right.
Yeah, we're paying homage to a company that is a to-do list for enterprise.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys very much for
Thank you.
stealing
Thank you.
from companies.
Do we go now?
I think you have to flex a bit. I think.
No. Do we stay or do we go?
No, we can go. You're good. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thanks, guys.